Well, welcome everyone. So grateful to be here with each of you today. Happy birthday to Rick.
Yay!
Just finding our space, landing in a comfortable seat, gathering your props, pillows, blankets, blocks. And just landing and being present. And noticing your breath. Again, just noticing how it feels. The inhale, the exhale. Not judging or trying to make your breath do anything in particular at the moment, just noticing. Maybe scanning your body and just seeing how you feel today, how your body is showing up. Again, as always, not judging, just noticing, taking in the data, noting it, and then letting it float by. And holding gratitude for our ability to connect here together for another week. So wonderful to have everyone here as we shift into a new season from when we started together. It's warmer out, things are blooming and blossoming everywhere. And we shift, as we always do. But still we hold these anchors like this practice that root us. Keep us rooted and keep us connected. So today for our practice, I invite you to focus on connection and connection to each other. Perhaps how you are staying connected in the current times when there is so much forced disconnection. The connection is so important to our well-being, to our resilience, and to our ability to be our best selves. So how can we intentionally seek out and foster that connection and feed it? So together, just breathing. Again, as always, through our practice, returning to the breath. Together, we inhale. And if it feels comfortable, you can keep your eyes closed or just have a loose gaze in front of you. Or bringing attention to your breath. Together, inhaling. Filling your belly, filling your chest, really breathing intentionally and deeply. And then exhale. A nice long exhale. Again, inhaling together. Filling belly, filling chest. Perhaps taking a pause here at the top. And then exhaling. Inhaling again. Pause. And exhale. And this time, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose if you weren't before, and maybe focusing on that Ujjayi breath, that deep, throaty breath that sounds like the ocean. And maybe thinking about trying to fog up a mirror in front of you with that breath. So inhaling, pause, and then on an exhale through your nose, really trying to have that deep, fogged up breath. Breathing so it's audible to yourself. And if everyone were muted, maybe I would hear each of your breaths as well. One more time together. Inhaling. And exhale through the nose. And now we invite some movement. And you can open your eyes at any point, but also feel free to keep them closed a little longer if that feels comfortable. But with our breath, we'll do some movement, again, starting as we usually do with just raising our arms overhead on the inhale, reaching nice and high, and exhale, hands to heart center. And inhaling, arms up. Exhale, heart center. Inhaling, arms up, reaching nice and tall. Exhale, heart center. And 2 more times in this way. Inhaling, reach. Heart center. And 1 more time. Inhaling up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And this time, inhaling, arms up, and then twisting our bodies to the right and lowering left hand to right knee. Right hand comes behind you for our twist. And as usual, focusing as you inhale on lengthening your spine, growing tall. And as you exhale, twisting. So even the slightest movement, a little more into your twist. Looking over your back shoulder if that feels comfortable. And being very intentional about your breath. And then on an inhale, arms coming back up, reaching high, and then taking it to our other side. So right hand to left knee, left hand comes behind you. Inhaling to lengthen, and exhale to twist. Head coming over your back shoulder if that feels good for your neck. Again, always shifting and modifying for what feels good for you. So if it doesn't feel good to have your head back, then have it forward. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhale to twist. 1 more inhale and exhale here. And then on an inhale, arms rise. And then release through heart center. Just waking up our shoulders, maybe with some arm circles backwards and then forwards. Really just loosening everything up. Circles with the hands, one direction, and then the other. Maybe arms coming up and either having hands together or grabbing your left wrist with your right arm, just giving a little side body twist. Going to the right first. Inhaling to center. And then coming to the other side. Back to center. Going maybe to the first side 1 more time. Back to center. And then to the other side. Inhaling back up, reach nice and tall. And then landing your hands down. Taking a nice intentional breath here. Inhale. And exhale. And then coming to our tabletop position. So coming to our hands and knees. Landing here. Again, if you're on your chair, having a nice foundation in your 2 feet. And your hands can be on your knees. And we'll start with our cat-cows. So on an inhale, raising your chest, really opening your heart, dropping your belly. And then on an exhale, arching your back, hips, drop, chest drops. And then on an inhale, belly drops, chest opens. And flowing with your own breath. Really feeling a nice stretch in your spine. And if you want, inviting in additional movement, maybe some circles with the hips or stretching back, maybe stretching side to side, the little curve of your spine, like the letter C. Just see what feels good today. And try some different movements. And if it doesn't feel good today, then try something different. And then together, landing back in our table position. Nice flat back. And then inviting our right arm to come out in front and left leg to come back. Again, you can land on your toe here, or you can invite that back leg to lift. And then coming back to all fours. Nice and strong in our table, and then taking it to the other side. So left arm, left hand comes forward, right leg comes back, either to the toes. Nice strong flexed foot, or lifting up for the balance. Holding here for our breath. And then landing back down. And then we take it back to our right side. So right arm, left leg. Landing down, tabletop. Left arm, right leg. Landing back to table. And again, right arm, left leg. And if you want, you can try this time bringing elbow and knee to meet in the center. A little bit of a crunch here. Pulling in your belly. Then lengthening back out and landing in table. And then we do our other side. So left arm, right leg, lifting if you like, maybe inviting the crunch, elbow to knee, meeting in middle, coming back to straighten, and then landing in table. Taking a breath here and then pushing back to a child's pose. So hips coming towards feet. Your knees can be close together or far apart. See what feels good. Landing your head on the mat. And taking a moment here to breathe. Reconnect with your breath. We inhale and exhale. and reconnect with our intention for this week of connection. And perhaps thinking about one example of a positive time you experienced connection this week. Maybe it was a phone call, or a class you went to, a Zoom call, a nice conversation, a kind gesture or a card from somebody. Think of an example of connection and just hold that in your thoughts as you breathe. Maybe it's connection with nature. And have gratitude for that. And then as you're ready, rising back up to table. Meeting in table. And then we'll do some threading the needle. So taking your right arm and on an inhale, inhaling the arm up to the sky, and we'll flow 2 times first. So exhale, threading that right arm through the left, reaching through, then on an inhale, reaching back to the sky. Exhale, threading through. Inhale, back to the sky. Exhale, threading through. And if it feels comfortable, landing this time. So shoulder and cheek come to the mat. If that doesn't quite feel comfortable, you can always put a pillow or a block under your head. Again, if you're in a chair, you can invite your arm across your body. Give yourself a nice hug. And breathe. And then when you're ready, on your inhale, inhale that right arm back up, high to the sky, and land in your table. And again, we'll do it with our other side with the same intentionality. Inhaling that left arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread the left arm through. Inhale that left arm up to the sky. Exhale, threading through. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, threading through and landing. Shoulder to the mat, head to the mat. Breathing in and out. And again, if you're seated, you can invite that left arm across your body and give yourself a nice hug. And then when you're ready, on an inhale, using that inhale to bring that left arm up, reaching high, and then landing. And then here, taking another press back to child's pose. Hips back, landing head down. Returning to your breath. The inhale and exhale. And then as you're ready, coming back up, coming to your tabletop perhaps, and then finding your way up to your standing position. However feels comfortable to do that today. Making your way up to the front of your mat, standing tall. Having a chair nearby if that's helpful for balance. And thinking about really rooting yourself. So building our poses, particularly our standing poses, from the ground up. So making sure we are strongly rooted in our feet and really feeling your mat from all four corners of your feet. So notice what it feels like on the outside edge and the inside edge and back and front. Really feel all of your feet on the ground, on your mat. And then really engaging your legs, starting with your lower legs, your calf, really feel them engaged, pulling them up and in, engaging your upper legs, pulling them up into your hip sockets. So you really feel truly engaged and powerful through your whole legs, nice and strong, nice and straight, like a strong tree trunk. And then really locking in through your center. So pulling in your belly button towards your spine. Feeling a nice length all through your body. Bringing your shoulders up and then down your back. And then lengthening your head. So you have a nice, tall, strong position here. Strongly rooted, but also energetically reaching up. And breathe. Noticing your inhale and your exhale. And even though we're not really doing anything quite yet, we're just standing, noticing the strength that you have in this stance. And noticing how active it can actually really be. Even though from the outside it might not seem like you're doing much at all. And then we'll invite in some movement. So keeping this strong, long form, really feeling your whole body. On an inhale, inviting your arms to reach up even higher. Nice tall position. And then on our exhale, we will fold forward. So folding over your legs. On your next inhale, coming up to a flat back. So hands either landing on your thighs or your calves or staying on the mat, wherever feels comfortable. But having a flat back and having your eyes looking just forward ahead of you on your mat, looking to the ground. Nice flat back. And then on an exhale, we fold forward again. Dropping your head. And then on an inhale, arms up, reaching high. Exhale, hands to heart center. And together we will continue to flow in this way. So inhaling, arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, arms rising to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathing in, breathing out. And then together, inhaling, arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, arms reaching high. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then one more time together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arms reaching high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Checking in with your breath. Checking in with your body. And then releasing your hands, we're going to come into our chair pose to start. So staying at the top of your mat and then bending both of your legs as if you're sitting back into a chair and inviting your arms to come up. And from here, rising up. Or you can step right back. We're going to step back into our warrior pose. So to start, warrior one, back leg nice and strong, straight, foot at slight angle, front foot facing forward, knee bent, knee is tracking right over your foot. And to begin, warrior one, both of our hips are facing forward and inviting our arms up. Nice and strong, warrior one. And then from here, opening up to our warrior two. So back arm goes back, front arm goes forward. Front knee stays bent. Again, knee right over ankle. Back leg straight, nice and strong. Remember, anytime through this warrior series, if it feels like too much, you can always just straighten that front leg a little bit and then come back in. And from here, we'll flip that front palm, drop our back arm, and reverse our warrior. So back leg still straight and strong, front leg bent. Reaching back. On an inhale, coming back, warrior two. Maybe peeking back, making sure that back arm is where you think it is, nice and straight. Front arm is nice and straight. Eyes over the middle finger. And now inviting that forearm to your front thigh. We come to our side angle and invite that top arm up over your ear. Turning a nice straight line through your body. Side angle. If you want, you can also try what it feels like to bring your hand to a block or the floor, or just leave it right on your thigh. On an inhale coming up, warrior two. Inhale, exhale, and then when you're ready on an inhale, stepping back, both feet to the top of the mat, and landing in your strong mountain pose. And checking in, see how you're feeling, and rebuilding this foundation. So thinking about building your strong standing pose from the ground up, feet firmly rooted, engaging your lower legs, your upper legs, so that you feel your legs, you feel that this is a very active pose. You're pulling in your muscles to your bones and pulling your legs up into your hip sockets. Engaging your core. So again, it may look like we're just standing here, but this is actually a very active and strong pose. And then we will continue our series on the other side. So starting with our chair pose, we sit back, bending your legs, sitting back into that imaginary chair, biting arms up overhead. And then either straightening or stepping directly back with your other foot. So stepping back with that left leg, right leg is forward, left foot is at an angle, nice and straight leg, front leg bent over that foot. Your knee should be right over your ankle, tracking right over that foot. And to begin, both of our hips start facing forward, and then inviting our arms up. Warrior one. Nice and strong. Inhale and exhale. And then opening up to warrior two. So hips come out to the side. Back arm is straight out of our back shoulder. Front arm is straight forward. And our eyes look over that middle finger of the front hand. Again, front knee bent, nice and strong. Breathing in, breathing out. And then maybe flipping that front arm, front palm, dropping your back arm. Coming back to reverse our warrior. Keeping that bend in the front leg, nice and straight back leg. And then on an inhale, coming back to warrior two. And remember, you can always straighten and rebend. Warrior two. And then coming to our same angle. So bringing that forearm to your thigh and inviting your arm up, overhead, over your ear. Nice straight line. Inhale and exhale. Then on an inhale, coming back, warrior two. Nice and strong, intentional gaze over that front middle finger. And just notice your strength. And then as you're ready, on an inhale, stepping back to the front of your mat and landing in your mountain pose. Returning to your breath. Inhale and exhale. And then we come to our balance. So standing at the front of the mat, really think about grounding through that left leg and bringing lightness to the right leg. So coming to our tree pose, whether that be a kickstand, lower leg, grabbing your foot and finding your upper leg, whatever it feels like you want to try for today, finding that position, maybe inviting hands to heart center, really engage through your arms, through your hands, have that be active. And notice how your tree feels today. Maybe there's a lot of wind and you're extra wobbly. Maybe you feel pretty still and sturdy. As always, no judgment, just noticing. Maybe growing your tree. Okay, maybe windy here, and maybe it's still. And then releasing, hands through heart center, and release the pose. Nice deep breath, inhale and exhale. And then thinking about rooting and grounding through our right leg, strong and sturdy. And then inviting lightness to the left side. So bringing that left foot to where it feels like it wants to land today. Lower, upper, or kickstand. Find that spot. Inviting hands to heart center. Really being strong through that rooted leg. And noticing the difference between sides. Maybe how much more or perhaps less wobbly this side is. Maybe there's more wind on this side. And growing our arms. And knowing that it's absolutely okay to flow and to move, because that's what a tree does. Sometimes, as I said, there's more wind than others. I know this week everything has been in bloom. So I've been trying to go out and take some pictures of my lilacs and my dogwood blooms. But it seems that when I go to take pictures and bring hands back through heart center and release, for some reason, when I bring the camera out, it gets super windy and the flowers are all over the place. And release. But that's just the way it is. And it's part of the beauty of it all. And we just accept it. And then try again at another time or on another day. Deep inhale. And exhale. Once again, inhale. And exhale. And then as you're ready, making your way to the mat in a seated position. Maybe you want to take one more big stretch high. And then kind of fold down and come to a seated position. But however you make it down there is perfectly fine. Feet out and legs out and straight in front of you. Maybe give them a little wiggle. And then landing. And we're going to do our forward fold. So if you like to use the props here, you can use pillows and blankets stacked on you. You can use your yoga strap, which might be your belt or a necktie or a scarf or a towel, whatever you have. You can wrap that around your feet if that feels good. Or just landing your hands somewhere on your mat or on your legs. But starting by straightening, sitting nice and tall as possible, and then folding forward, leading with your chest. So you want to have as straight a back. Think about hinging forward with a straight back. So instead of just bending over, you want to come forward with a straight back, which means you might not go very far at all. But leading with the chest and keeping that straight back. Come forward. If it feels comfortable, you can close your eyes. Sometimes shutting off that extra sense can help us find a little more ease in the pose. And just allowing yourself to be here in the pose, in your forward fold, whatever that fold looks like today. And checking in and making sure that you are breathing. Your deep inhale and exhale. And sometimes in tricky poses or challenging poses, that's when we have the tendency to kind of hold our breath. So the real lesson and the real practice is to breathe even in the challenging moments. Because if we can do that here on our mat, where things feel pretty controlled and as safe as possible, then we build up those tools and we have that capacity for breath when things are really challenging. And we have that tool available to us. And then as you're ready, no rush. Folding forward, staying folding forward and releasing, rolling up one vertebra at a time with your head coming up last. And then just noticing how you feel. And as you're ready, swinging your feet to the side and grabbing your bolster, so your roll of blankets or pillows, whatever you have available today, and bringing both of your knees to one side. So you have both knees bent to one side and inviting your pillows, your bolster into your hips. So bringing your pillow bolster into your hips, both knees pointing in the same direction, and then twisting your body back towards your bolster and coming forward. So we're doing a little twist here, but with the support of our bolsters. So both knees to one side, turning back towards the bolsters and then landing on them. Landing your cheek to the bolster, arms by your side. Cheek can be going in the same direction as the knees. If you want more of a twist, you can try bringing the opposite cheek to the bolster. But that may feel like too much. And if so, just land here facing the same direction as your knees. You can close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or just have a loose gaze to nowhere in particular. Focusing on and connecting to your breath. Then as you're ready, no rush at all. Using your arms and your hands to push you up, come back to an upright position. And then of course, we take the pose on the other side. So bringing both of your knees to point in the opposite direction and inviting the bolster back in to your hip. So both knees to the opposite side, bolster to hip, and then turning your body, coming forward, and just landing. Landing here on your bolster. And returning to breath. And as you're ready, no rush at all. Finding your way back up to seated, pushing yourself up with your hands, your arms. Taking a nice deep breath in and breath out. Moving your bolster to the side and coming to lie on the mat. Feet on the mat, knees pointed up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. And then inviting your right ankle up and over the left. Maybe staying right here, or if you'd like, threading your hands around that left thigh and inviting both legs towards your body. Both of your feet active and flexed. Breathing intentionally. And as you're ready, releasing, maybe giving yourself a big hug, hugging both knees in, maybe a little rock side to side. Then landing both feet on the mat, knees up, and taking it to the other side. So left ankle comes over onto the right thigh. Staying here or threading hands around your thigh, inviting both of your legs towards your body, both of your feet flexed. And as you're ready, releasing, hugging in, maybe a little rock. And then landing your feet, again, both feet on the mat, knees towards the ceiling. We're going to do a bridge pose. So you're going to push into your feet and lift your hips up. And you can do that. We'll do 2 of these. So you can either do 2 coming up and down, or if you want to do an assisted pose, you can put a block or a pillow under your hip and then just kind of stay there. Or you can start by pushing into the feet, lengthening, lifting hips. And then releasing, rolling down. If you're on a block or a bolster, you can stay there if that's comfortable. And then one more time, rolling up, pushing through our feet, lifting our hips. Arms by your side. and then rolling back down. Landing your hips, hugging knees into chest, giving yourself a little rock. And now we'll come up to our waterfall or inversion position. So you can do legs up the wall, or you can just put your feet up, or you can take a block or a bolster and put it under your hips. So if you want to use a prop, just grab the prop, land both feet on the ground, push your hips up, land your block or bolster under your hips, and then bringing your feet up to the sky. Again, this is a great pose for calming our stress response and just mixing things up a little bit, getting the blood flowing in a different direction. Throughout our days, we're not often upside down. We don't often have our feet higher than our heart. And then as you're ready, no rush, releasing. If you have a prop, landing your feet, both feet on the ground, lifting your hips, removing that prop, putting it to the side. And just noticing for a moment. Maybe bringing the soles of your feet together, letting your knees fall out to the side. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now as you're ready, we're going to come into one final pose. If you choose to do so, a bit of a heart opener. So taking your props, your blanket roll or your pillows, and lying them behind you, we're going to come to lay back on it. So you want to stack it up as much as feels good. You can use blocks or pillows for this. And again, this one, sometimes you need to play around with a little bit to find the right combination of pillows and angles and things. I find that when I stack a bolster at an angle on top of the other one, I get a really nice support there. But you want to make sure you have enough support so that it's not too much of an opening. So maybe you need a little extra pillow. So keep setting up your props until you find a nice, comfortable position to lie back and rest on. And then your arms can come to the side, palms up. Your feet can be straight out in front of you with your legs can be straight out in front of you with your feet kind of flopping open. Or you could try again to bring the soles of the feet together and have your legs fall to the side, whatever feels comfortable. This should feel restful and restorative, not challenging, but it should feel opening for your heart. So find that stack that feels good. And come to rest. And if at any point that doesn't feel good for today, then push those props and your bolster to the side and just come to lying on your back. And just resting here. And reflecting on our focus, our intention of today, that of connection. And holding gratitude for the connections that we hold and we do have, and for the nourishment that we get from such connections. Perhaps first holding gratitude for connection to self, for showing up for yourself and committing to practices like this. Holding gratitude for that and sending well-being to yourself. Wishing yourself well. Wishing yourself ease. Wishing yourself happiness. And then bringing gratitude to our group, our Friday yoga class and that connection, holding gratitude for that. And sending well-being to everyone in this group. Well-being, sending ease, and sending happiness. And then reaching out further to our larger community, holding gratitude for that. And sending well-being, sending ease to that greater community around us, sending happiness. And then thinking about our whole world and nature and all of the beautiful trees and flowers and things that are blooming, all the wildlife that we see scampering around, and holding gratitude for our connection to the earth, and sending well-being out to the earth, and wishing it ease and happiness. And then selecting one person, perhaps in particular, that you would like to hold connection with, and sending your well-being wish to them, holding them in your heart and sending them that wish for well-being, for ease, and for happiness. Holding gratitude for them, perhaps picturing them in your mind's eye and sending them that well-being. And then as you're ready, bringing attention back to your breath, perhaps inviting in some movement to arms and legs, hands and feet, and coming up to your seated position, taking your time, maybe rolling to one side, resting there for a moment first, and slowly coming up to seated. And from our seat, we close together with 2 breaths, maybe inviting hands to heart center, just resting them wherever they are. And together we inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Thank you all for being here today. I am so grateful for the connection that we all have and the time we get to spend together every Friday. It is absolutely an anchor for me through all of this. Sending each of you well-being. Namaste.